So now we have Christ coming to the earth to extract the vengeance from the winepress of God. Okay? Again, he treads the blood of his enemies up to the horse's bridle. Not just one horse, a whole battlefield full. But we got to understand that Christ slays only a remnant of those who have the mark of the beast, and the birds feed on their flesh from kings down to slaves. We understand that, all right? But he leaves the rest of them alive, for Satan is bound, okay? He is cast into the abyss. And while Satan is bound, the Lord is setting up thrones for those who take part in the first resurrection. It's perfectly explained as those who went through the great tribulation and refused the mark of the beast, whether they were beheaded and put to death or whether they refused and remained. They refused the mark. They take part in the first resurrection. This is Christ defeating his enemies with his armies, those who take part in the first resurrection. Okay, all the other saints remain at rest until the great throne judgment, okay, which is coming very, very soon. Okay, the Bible says after the 1,000 years of peace, but we also understand that a day of creation is 1,000 years, but the 1,000 years of the devil being bound and the 1,000 years of peace is one day, the great day of the Lord's vengeance. So the devil is bound. In the morning, Christ sets up thrones. They're having a grand old time making it's an example of the New Jerusalem that is coming, okay, on this earth, okay, with those who take part in the first resurrection. That is what's going on during the day. When Satan is loosed, he incites those that were left of Gog and Magog to incite war against the Lamb and his followers. But here's the thing. Jesus don't take the last bit of God's wrath out. He ain't got to lift a finger, and neither does his followers, because it is God on the throne, the Father, who sends fire from heaven to grab up the devil and all the rest who've taken the mark of the beast and cast them into the lake of fire. Okay, that is the final wrath of God. Okay, by the Father himself. Okay, it explains to us that the heavens and the earth roll away as a scroll. This is the very moment. See, the two earthquakes weren't cataclysmic enough for this earth to pass away. But when the Father shows his face from the throne, does the heaven and the earth roll away as a scroll. That is the moment that the earth and heaven roll away as a scroll, when the Father sends fire down to consume the Satan and the rest of those of Gog and Magog, cast them into the lake of fire. Then does the heaven and earth roll away as a scroll before his face. His face alone causes the heaven and earth to roll away. And then do we have the great throne judgment. And then do we have the bride coming down from heaven, from down from God out of heaven, the New Jerusalem, the marriage supper of the Lamb that lasts forever. Forever. Every 2 months, there's the trees that grow, the tree of life that grows on both sides of the river. Okay, it is one tree. The roots go down so deep and connect all the way back to the other side and come up. It is one tree, the one tree of life on both sides of the river. And every 2 months, even though time is no more, every 2 months they yield their fruit. Okay, and we are at the marriage supper ceremony of the Lamb, where the devout Jew is in the inner court and serve the temple of God, which is the Father and the Lamb, continuously, non-stop, while the the Gentiles come in and out from the outer courts according to their nations to worship the king. Okay, see, a non-stop ceremony of worshiping the king, a feast with a non-stop ceremony. This is the plan the Lord has for all of us.